Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to install a fish finder on my Hobie Camel Edition kayak. This is the basic install. As on any kayak, it's just this Hobie happened to have a transducer mount on the bottom of it, but if you don't, you just install it inside your hole, use some marine goop. But here's the basic install on my 2017 Camel Edition. And if you have any questions or any best prices for supplies, Amazon links are below. These are the best find, and the cheapest prices are from Amazon. So, of course, you need some crimpers and some tape and some connectors. And here's my Hobie kayak with the Lowrance Ready plate right here, which the transducer will go under. So, of course, for your kayak, you want to put it on its side. If you're installing in the hole, hopefully you have a little access port you can get inside the hole so you can find a good nice flat spot. So I'm going to remove the plate just with a Phillips screwdriver, just 3 little screws holding it together. And even if your transducer is too big, Hobie does have some upgraded plates where you can install it and not have it bulge out. Because with the stock one, there's only a handful of transducers that will fit without modification. And being a Garmin product and it being a Lowrance plate, of course, I do need to put little modifications to secure it to the plate, as you can see right here. And of course, you want to push it through the hole, and that's the final product right there. And I'll show you how to reach that with the Striker 4 from Garmin. And here are the mounts and little bracket plates that come with the transducer itself. There's a little spacer right here, some rubber washers, and a long screw to go through so you can connect it to your Lowrance Ready plate. And with this Garmin setup, you're not going to be able to just straight up mount it without adding any extra long pivot points. And I'll show you those pieces of plastic or the pivot points so it would reach the stock mounting holes. So I just cut a little bit of piece of plastic from a leftover kitty litter box, but you can use basically any plastic you have around the house or that you're going to throw away. Just mounted 2 little holes, and it's going to sit really tight in there when you mount the Lowrance plate back up, so it's not going anywhere, and it's connected from the cable. So this is my goal right there. Just using some kitty litter box, you can see. So one mount to the transducer and one mount to the Lowrance plate. And I'll keep you guys updated if this doesn't work, but I don't see why not. It doesn't have too much wiggle room down there, and it's not a place where the kite's getting beat up, so it should hold just fine. So one screw down there connected to the transducer itself, and now we're going to mount the other side and see how it's connected right there. Pretty easy. Now it's nice and snug, it's not going to go anywhere. You want it pretty parallel to the ground. And some recommend leaving a small space in between the plate and the transducer. It's up to you. I've always received a great image no matter what I did. So after you feed it through the hole from the bottom, you're going to want to feed this bottom clip all the way back down through the hole so it's on the back side of the hole. And that's what you're going to use to screw this from the bottom. So when this goes on top, you use your custom fit grommet. Depending on your wire size, each transducer and company makes different wire diameters. So you feed this bottom screw to secure it all. Make sure you don't forget it, because you don't want to tie everything back up and find out you need to feed all the wire through. And I noticed with the Lowrance Elite models, you have a hard time fitting the cables through just because the plug-in is so large. But with the Garmin series, that is definitely not a problem. So I'm just feeding all the wires through, and this comes with all your Hobies. It just comes with random grommet sizes you can fit. So you can fit your wire through. See, this is a pretty small diameter, so I had to use the smallest grommet size. So as you feed that locking clip in, you want to just use your other hand, make sure your top stays stable. And next you're going to want to work with this. This is where your actual fish finder will come out of. And you can see I put a little 1-inch ram mount right there. And that's what I'm going to mount my fish finder to, is a ram mount. So there's the hole you're going to feed both your cables in, your power cable and your transducer cable. That's usually how most fish finders are set up. One cable going to the battery and one cable going to the transducer. And these are the grommet packets that usually all Hobies come with after the 2004 model. So I'll need the double wire grommet, of course, because one's for the power and one's for the transducer. And this is from the transducer, so you're gonna have a lot of extra wire. When it comes to transducer models, you don't want to cut any of it. We'll just zip tie it all and throw it in the hole, and you shouldn't have any problems with water or anything because there's no openings on the wire, just at the end. If you ever have any questions from all this explanation, I know it's a long video, just leave me a comment or shoot me a private message. Pretty good at answering comments and messages. And here's your power cable that's going to go to your battery. And just feed this under. You want to get yourself a good amount of wire just so you can hook it behind your fish finder, but with the grommets there's a little wiggle room, so you can always pull out if you need a little more or push back in. Not a complete water seal, but I mean, it's a great system that Hobie has produced. So here's your wires, your negative and your positive with the inline fuse and your positive. Just did the negative already and just wrapped it up with some electrical tape. Here's the positive side. Just crimp it nice and then use some electrical tape. And what I usually do is put it in a dry bag, and when I'm ready to use it, take it out of the dry bag and put my battery in the dry bag, and I'm ready to go to hit the waters. So just some good electrical tape just to secure everything and make it a little more semi-watertight, and nothing will loosen over time. And if your fish finder does lose power or something's a little funky, it's usually 9 out of 10 times this connection has just came loose, or so yeah, always double check this. If something's going wrong with your fish finder, most likely it's under the electrical tape that it came loose just by accident or use over time. So now I'm gonna test out the fish finder. Of course, negative first, and then positive, and make sure you have your fish finder connected. And mine's not connected. Now I just connected it, and here's the split screen view. And if you want to see the Striker 4 in action, just watch my part 1 video. I'll leave it in the descriptions below. And if you need any of these supplies or tools, make sure you also check my descriptions. I put links to Amazon links that, if you're a Prime member, it gives you all free shipping. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you.